Hello, thank you very much for tuning in to this week's reads. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. For the tarot portion, I'm using Gilded Tarot Royale by Ciro Marchetti, text by Barbara Moore. The website is llewellyn.com, if I can get it to focus. Feel free to check out any of those social links, of course, and there's the llewellyn.com if you're interested. Supportive Oracle cards. You Are Clairvoyant Oracle cards by Belinda Grace. Illustrated by Elaine Marzin. And the website is rockpoolpublishing.com. .au, A as in apple, U as in umbrella. And last but not least, I use dice. I use a 22-sided dice for the major arcana, substituting 22 for 0 for the Fool. 14-sided dice for the minor arcana, and a 4-sided dice to choose the element for the minor arcana. They came from the dice shop, which is mathartfun.com. I'm not sure if you can see the website. I'll try to get a little closer. mathartfun.com if you're curious to see what's there. Of course, if you'd like a reading by me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching this part, and let's get into your reading. Hello, Taurus. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Taurus? Why is that like slipping in that way? We got Justice coming in, but then I'm like slipping the 5 of Pentacles under it, and I'm like, why am I doing that? Like, is Justice coming in because somebody's on the outside? Are you the person on the outside? Do you want to be on the outside? You might want to be on the outside. Something is, yeah. Okay. Do you want to be on the outside? I keep wondering, like, do you actually want to be on the outside of this situation? That's not a bad thing. Do you want... I keep getting it over and over, so, like, where am I supposed to go with that? I feel like I've been in it, though. And I've been holding the line and doing what I need to do. I don't want to be. I don't think you want to be in the middle of this. Lover's card reversed, and then the Queen of Swords half in, half out. I don't think... When I get the Lover's card reversed, I keep getting like people saying things that don't make sense, and it's just kind of like... I feel like people are wasting my time. People should be able to tell me what's going on. I should be able to get information from people, but it's like, it doesn't work that way. I feel like I literally have to go, like if I want to know what's in the kitchen, I have to literally go in there myself. I have to go through the cupboards and the refrigerator and the freezer or whatever you got going on, and I got to do it myself. I could ask, and you'd think I could get a rational answer. Somebody might flat out tell me, oh, there's definitely beans there. And I'd be like, what type of beans? Oh, the dried ones. They're in the bags. They're up in the cupboard. I'm like, and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? Let me go check to make sure they're there. Not there. Totally not there. And then you find out they have green beans in the freezer. And you're like, that, okay. It's kind of like, nope. It's kind of like the information is very faulty. Very, very faulty. And I feel like this is probably, if this reading is going to be hitting, it's probably one of the bigger reasons why I feel like I don't want to be on the end on this one. Because I can't trust what people are telling me. And it's becoming a lot of work to make sure things are working out. I feel like you're getting a chance to walk away. I think that's why the 5 of Pentacles is showing up. The 7 of Swords is here too, but even though it's being on the outside, it's still an Earth card. Earth doesn't change really fast usually. You're going to have a moment here where you're on the outside. The thing is, when you're on the outside, it could be a temporary thing. It doesn't have to be. And they're saying if you want out of this, see your opportunity and allow yourself to have it. The moon card's here, things don't make sense. The Queen of Pentacles upside down is telling me things are not built correctly and people just keep pushing it forward that way. Look at the history of this. When you're on the outside, I don't feel like I'm upset with it. But it's like you won't stay there for long. You won't stay there for long. And it's kind of like, if you want this to be a permanent out, you have to make peace with it first. Looking at the history of it is going to help you see the truth. Should I just let somebody else do this? Would my life be better? Could somebody else maybe handle this better? Somebody else who enjoys, tracking after these people. Is this better for me and other people? Kind of like maybe somebody who likes this circus. Maybe somebody who wants those circus peanuts. Maybe they should come over and hang out. Let's let them do it. They enjoy it? Good. Enjoy it. Feel free to enjoy it. I don't know why my eye itches all of a sudden, but it does. The door is here. And when the door starts showing up for you, people don't want to let you go. People are comfortable with you taking on the responsibility because it actually works out the way it's supposed to, because you're the one who takes responsibility and makes sure it works out the way it's supposed to. This feels like a toxic relationship with maybe more than one person, because they know you'll do it the right way. They don't put in the effort to do it the right way. They just rely on you to do it because they know you won't fail. And I'm getting, when they see that you're going to kind of try to get out or try to leave, they don't like that, because if you walk away, that means one of two things happens. Either they have to do it the right way, or at least be more responsible, or it's just going to fail. And they don't want to have that responsibility. Even though I feel like on paper, for some of these people, they should have that responsibility, and maybe they claim that they do, but it's not working out that way. All right, so this is coming in. Like, don't hesitate. You're going to whatever it is, I don't think it's just it's not just like putting down a book. Like, I'm not reading the story anymore and putting down the book. It's not like that. If I was going to use the reading analogy, it's kind of like, I don't like this story anymore. I don't want to read this anymore. I'm giving that book away, and then I'm leaving, and I'm going through and starting a whole new series of something else. I'm starting into something totally else. Totally else? Totally different. Totally else. Sure, we'll just make up things. Why not? We'll go somewhere else. I think that's why. Totally somewhere else. There we go. Your moment shows up. Is your happiness worth it? Because ultimately you'll be a lot happier if this reading is hitting. It's a general read. Take it with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? Take it. Think for yourself. Does this work? Does this not work? Because I'm getting you can. You got the Queen of Cups coming in right side up. Yeah, it's right side up. And the Justice card coming right side up. You don't have to accept this if you don't want to accept this. A possibility to consider is if you do move on. See, this feels like it's two parts. One, allowing yourself to move on. Just putting it down and going and making that commitment to yourself. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Something else to consider is if you decide to do that, you may not want to explain why. Let other people figure out what they're going to do. So, for example, if it was a job, just for argument's sake, and you've had it, and you're just leaving, and you're like, I don't know, I'm a 2-week notice person. I know people want 5 years, but that's that. I swear people want like 3 weeks to a month now, but I feel like that's unfair and unrealistic, but that's just me. But anyway, do it your way. You don't have to over-explain it. Give your 2-week notice. Do not do overtime. Do not bend over backwards. It's an idea to just don't try to make it easier for other people, because I'm getting it. It won't work anyway. You'll bend over backwards, and all they're going to want to try to get you to do is to do the job as long as possible. They're going to try to tie you into it. So like, I get bent out of shape when I find out people are like giving 3 weeks to a month's notice for a job, and I'm just like, you're leaving the job. That's their responsibility to pick up the pieces, not yours. But that's my own thing. Give the standard whatever you think is right, whatever you would normally do. If it would normally be a month, all right, do what you got to do. But do not go back. Do not bend over backwards. Do not do overtime. Do not put yourself out in any way. And when the day comes and you're done, be done. Let it go. Be like, all right, I'm shutting down my email, and then start blocking people on your phone. Like, I don't work with you anymore. Your number's blocked, unless you want them to be friends, and then let them know if they're a friend. Like, you only contact me about things we're friends about. I'm not talking about that place anymore. I'm not helping anymore. So when this date comes, no more conversations about this place. I don't want to hear the gossip. I don't want to have questions. Nothing. Because I'm getting like what you may want to consider doing is just centering on literally your new opportunity. Whatever you want to let go of, it's easier if you hyper-focus, if possible, on what you actually want and what you're going towards. Because again, I'm getting like, I'm not only just shutting the book, I'm giving it away, and then I'm leaving the place that I'm in and I'm going somewhere else. And I'm starting to search through things that I want to do. And it's kind of like, let me get excited and like put a lot of energy in that, get hyper-focused on what I'm going to choose next. And just whatever was is was. We're done with that. Hyper-focus on that. Marry into that. There will be some discontent because, it's not like you can just shut it off. But keep redirecting yourself. Remind yourself what you didn't like from the last situation, only in the purpose of like, that's what I had there. I had that in the past, so I don't want to choose that in my new option. So, for example, if you worked in construction, maybe you were a manager, you managed something in construction, and you were like, I didn't like dealing with, the customers. Maybe that was just it. Or I didn't like dealing with the inspectors. Don't go towards something else that has inspectors. Try to get around to having to deal with customers if you don't have to. Create what you want it to be, not what you feel like you're stuck with. You know what I mean? Hyper-focus on creating it the way you want it to be. Because like, if you're going to be in construction and you're going to be a manager, I would think that you don't always have to deal with either of those. There could be, you're managing things that just don't have anything to do with those two elements. Find the job that works for you. Find the thing that works for you. Hyper-focus on finding the opportunity that you want, not the opportunity that people think you have to have. So the first is like, make that commitment to yourself. Second is like, commit to yourself going where you want to be, not making it better for people who you're leaving behind anyway. It may seem mean, but I'm like, they're not going to they just want you to do the work that they don't want to do as long as possible. They're not really listening to you is what I'm getting. So it's kind of like, does that make sense? Like, if it was where you were teaching them how to do something and they were actually learning and they were going to actually apply it, that'd be one thing. But I don't think that's what they're doing. I think they're just trying to keep you doing the job that you're leaving as long as they possibly can. And just don't invest in that. Just don't invest in that. Don't do any overtime. Don't go above and beyond. Just do what you can. 5 o'clock, gotta go. That's that. There's a whole new phase that's trying to come forward for you. And I feel like for Taurus, or if this reading is connecting with you, for whatever sign you connect with, Lovers came out twice. Okay, so I feel like there's something that's been trying to come in, but the space is occupied. So it's kind of like if you look at life as a shelf, you can fit 5 things on your shelf is constantly full. Something has been trying to find a spot on your shelf. But until you get rid of some things, you can't get this beautiful thing that's waiting to come in, which doesn't have to be romance, but it could. It's up to you, whatever that is. When you walk away from this situation, the sooner you clear off that piece of the shelf, that part of the shelf, the sooner something better that's been wanting to come in can start coming in. Is it going to be crash, bang, boom, fireworks right off the it could be, not likely. It's something that's more than likely going to start working its way in slowly and surely, but it can't take up that space as long as there's something in the way. So, open up that space, center on what you want to fill that space, but it can't fill it. As long as you let other people take that space, which could be this last situation that won't completely let you go, as long as you're giving attention to that last situation, this can't come in because that space is not free yet. That space will always be taken up until you completely let go of that. That has to be completely removed and let go and in the past before what you really want in life can come in and claim that new space. Keep that in mind. It's about removing some blocks too. All right, so what is that about? It's a little bit of an extended, but that's okay. It's there. Let's go for it. 4 of Swords, which is healing. The Hierophant, which is your card. And then you got the 2 of Swords and the 6 of Swords. You don't want to repeat or let things into those spots in your life that are not working. Like if you can fit 5 things on a shelf, whatever that shelf is, it's not only about getting rid of things that you don't want, it's making sure that what does replace it is something you actually want to replace it. And you might be in the house cleaning mood, and when I say that, 5 spaces on the shelf, you get rid of 1 thing. You might get rid of 1 or 2 more. I'm just saying. And that might work for you. If you're in the mood and you're like, well, what else here doesn't work for me? I mean, since I'm clearing things out, might as well make it a full sweep of all the things I do not want on my shelf. Of all the 5 things, I got rid of 1 I don't want. There's 2 others I don't want, so let's work on getting rid of those too. A lot of healing. You might have a moment here where you're kind of stuck in your tracks and you're looking at things in your life and you're like, do I really want everything that's here? I did at one point, clearly, that's why it's there, but do I still want it? And if I don't still want it, maybe it's time to move it on. There's a lot of possibilities waiting for you, and I wouldn't say that this is like a etched in stone reading. They're saying it depends on how deep you go with it. It's how much you can get out of it, because you got to accept some things here. One of the things I feel like they're saying to get this change to happen is accepting that certain things can't be allowed to just live like a ghost in the room. What I mean by that is like people from past jobs, past connections, past relationships, still pulling on your time, still getting you to do things for them, still getting you to help them out when you've left those situations, and they're no longer looking out for you. They just contact you when they want something from you. Those are ghost relationships, in my opinions. Like the ghost in the room. Like when they want something, they show up, but when you need something, oh, I'm busy. But they only once in a while show up, but when they do, they're expecting you to do something for them. Those are things we got to get those ghosts out of the room. Those are actually taking up space on your shelf, and you may not realize it. Because once those are completely gone, and you're like, listen, we're not connected like that anymore. I don't work there anymore. I'm not in this relationship with you anymore. I'm not married to that person anymore. We don't ever see each other. You need to live your own life. I can't help you anymore. Especially if they're not helping you, or they're not going, if you can track the last 3 years and they haven't helped you at all, get those ghosts out of those rooms. Get the ghosts out of the rooms. That way you can put things on this shelf that you want. That's that last piece. There's a lot in this reading. Because they're like, something is waiting to come in. So the first thing was, like, let something go that you want to go anyway. Don't help people that aren't really looking to get help. They just want you to do what they don't want to do. And then clear out the ghosts so you can get what you actually want here. That clear out the ghost thing, that may be bigger than I realized, because I feel like a lot of people do that. We let the ghosts hang out. And when I talk about the ghost again, it's like those relationships that they don't really serve you, but these people just, once in a great while, they just come in and they just take up space, and they just have expectations that you're like, I don't want to do that. I don't know why I'm doing this. Clear them out. Like, if they don't like you, that's fine. Apparently, they're not really likable to begin with if they're not looking out for you the way they think you should look out for them. Allow your happiness to come in. That's the last card. Allow your happiness to come in. And I feel like that's what this reading is about. There's like, certain things might be blocking you from getting the true happiness that you want in life, and you might be confused on why certain things just never seem to line up. They're saying, well, let's clear out some of this stuff that's just taking up space and doesn't need to. Then your happiness can really come in. Are we good? I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email. jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.